Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution update. I've got a lot to share with you this week, and I'm making a really conscious commitment to speaking slowly. So, because people oftentimes say, you talk too fast, and I'm from Texas, so that's a normal thing for us. So anyway, before you settle down to watch this, you might want to go grab a glass of water or get a pillow so you're comfortable in your seat, because I'm going to throw a lot of stuff at you. And I really want you to hear me and listen to it carefully, because it's important this week that you pay attention to all the parameters going on, because your attention and focus and your commitment to being mindful this week is the difference between having an awesome transformative week or the week from hell. And personally, I really want you to have an awesome transformative week, so let's go, all right? This week we have the Gate 28, known as the Gate of Struggle. I like to call it the Gate of Challenge, transiting in the Sun. Now, this in and of itself is always a little bit of an adventure, although personally I find this to be one of my favorite energies in the chart. Here's where it gets interesting. The 28 is an energy that causes us to struggle. But it's a really important energy, because it's from the struggles that we experience when we're in this energy that we discover what's really meaningful, what's really valuable. It's part of what we call mutative energy. So the things that we push against when we're working with this energy are the things that need to be tried and experimented with, because these are the things that are seeking transformation and ultimately evolution and dispersion into the world. If you think about evolution for a minute, it makes sense that things that bring change have to a certain degree, hit a certain degree of resistance. Resistance is important to test the mutation. If you had a mutation that was running loose without any kind of testing in a species, if you had suddenly everybody started being born with, 14 hands and no way to control them, if it wasn't a mutation that eventually proved itself to be worthy, you would end up actually with more struggle rather than less. So the things that we struggle with when this energy is in place are the things that we are seeking to prove and demonstrate for ourselves that are worthy for us to continue to evolve towards and include in our own process of growth and expansion. So here's the thing, it meets up with the 38 in Pluto, which is the other half of the channel. So we have this whole channel this week of struggle defined, which again, as I said, it's all about mindset this week, as it was last week. So here's the thing. Number one, keep some coffee handy. Number two, don't drink too much coffee. Number three, put some chocolate in your bag so that you always got some nice chocolate with you. If you need to, carry a bottle of wine with you. Whatever you have to do this week to get through it. Meditate, pray, use essential oils, whatever you have to do. But this is the thing. Don't drive yourself crazy if you start bumping up against walls this week. It's not about struggle for the sake of suffering. It's about struggling to discover what's really valuable. So as you push against things this week, as you struggle this week, remember that you're engaging in a deliberate and conscious transformational process. We've been through these cycles for the last couple of weeks of really, again, getting clear about what do we want, where are we headed. We've been evaluating our values and implementing new values. Now you're in this place where it's pedal to the metal time. You're going to go out there, you're going to do, and as you do, the things that you push again are supporting you in your transformation. So a lot of potential for transformation this week, but take care of yourselves. Really nurture yourself through this process. If you keep banging your head against the wall, I'm not saying I'm not saying to stop. I'm definitely not saying to quit. The things that are really valuable are the things that we push and persevere through. And there's a certain requirement this week of you kind of persevering through the struggle. And don't exhaust yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Don't go bitter. And certainly don't lose perspective on what's truly valuable in life. This might also be for some of us a good week to ask ourselves, is our life truly a reflection of what we consider to be and hold dear and valuable? I've been watching this documentary about tiny houses on Hulu, and it's really interesting to watch people go through this process of deliberately downsizing in this very radical way. And for a lot of people, moving out of like 2,000 square foot home into 126 square feet. And to see that process of really evaluating what's valuable in your life. We're kind of all going through that this week in a very different way. Obviously, you maybe not be moving into a tiny house, but we are definitely sort of sifting and sorting to really hone on to what's worth fighting for, what's worth struggling for, what are the things in our lives that are truly valuable. Okay, the 27, this is the gate of responsibilities in the earth. So it's always interesting when we get tribal energy, which is the gate 27, mixed with individual energy, which is the 28th. We always have this kind of push me, pull you quality of energy going on that's, should I go ahead and do my own thing, go through my transformation, and this other part of us that says, is that the most responsible thing for me to do? Should I be doing this? Am I crazy? Am I going to be letting people down? It's going to be an interesting challenge this week to find that middle ground, that harmony between following your own path and making sure that you're doing it in such a way that doesn't break your own heart, that doesn't engage you in letting down the people you care about. In the end, ultimately, when you are fully true to who you are and fully true to your unique path, all the other places, including your responsibilities and obligations to others, will click into place. Okay, Mercury starts the week in 57. That's the gate of intuition, moving to the 32, ambition, on Wednesday. So we begin the week with our intuition really finely tuned and big and turned on. And then we move to the 32, the gate of ambition, giving us the energy to know when it's the right timing for us to begin to implement our big ideas. So again, part of this transformation process this week is for us to really be attuned to correct timing. So really, again, even though that 32 is not the same kind of intuition as the 57, it's not that same knowingness, there is this inner cycle or this inner knowingness or awareness that happens with the 32, this click that tells us it is the right time for us to continue to keep moving forward in our dreams, our thoughts, and ambitions. And if it's not the right time, don't push. With the energy of struggle there, you'll be pushing a rock up a hill for no reason. If it is the right time, go for it, and you'll feel the difference in the two timing pieces. If it's not the right time, the struggle is going to be insurmountable. If it is the right time, you might have a little resistance at the beginning, but once you get the momentum going, everything's going to start to click into place. Venus moves from the 64, the gate of confusion. I always get that one mixed up. I've been teaching this for 15 years, and there are two gates, the gate of confusion and doubt and suspicion. And I always get those two flip-flopped, and they're on the opposite sides of the brain. So the 64 is the gate of confusion. The 64 has been transiting in Venus. It's a really great energy. This is the initiating sequence of holistic thinking. When we have the energy of the 64, we tend to get big, giant download of ideas into our heads. And we don't always get the instruction manual for the big ideas, but we have these giant ideas. And we're sitting around trying to figure out, how do we make this happen? And we can potentially drive ourselves crazy asking ourselves, how do we make this happen? The 47 transits in. Now the 47 is not really that much better. It's the energy for epiphanies. It's the other half of the gate, actually. The 47 is called oppression. And whenever oppression transits, and it's also transiting in Mars, so it's not like we're going to get away from this week. The energy of oppression is this: you will either be as free or as imprisoned as you perceive yourself to be. So mindset is the most important piece when we're dealing with this energy. So this week, because we've got this energy transiting both in Venus and in Mars, your mindset is going to be super important for you to endure and to get through the challenges and the transformation that are facing us this week. So again, chocolate in your purse, wine if you need it, meditate. Do whatever you need to do to really make sure that you are consciously engaging in life with an open mindset, and that you have liberated your mind and your thinking, and you are standing in a place of readiness awaiting the epiphany and not driving yourself crazy trying to figure out how the heck is this going to happen. Let the universe handle the details. You just stay in that positive place, stay in that space of expectation, and everything will click into place eventually. Jupiter is also in the 64. So confusion again. So this entire channel of confusion is again defined in the head. So again, the potential for us to be filled with big ideas and struggling to figure out how to make those happen. If you just take a breath and wait, all of the inspiration percolates through, the universe is going to bring you the answers you're looking for. The universe will tell you how you need to do it. The universe will tell you what the next step is, but it won't be able to find you if you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. So stay in place, take some breaths, be prepared, listen to the inner voice about when the timing is correct. Trust that the epiphany will show up, the directions will manifest. You don't have to figure this out. Everything is going to be unfolded for you in exactly the way that it needs to if you can just stay open to the possibility of the answers revealing themselves to you over time. So, all right, we've got the continued transits in the outer planets. The outer planets don't shift or move this week, so we've got the universe again reminding us that we are our most powerful when we surrender to the things we have no control over, when we surrender to the awareness that the infinite answer, all of the instructions we need, all of the answers we're seeking, all of the manifestations we're intending will show up when we let go of our need to be in control. If you can allow the universe to bring you the next step, to stay in that place of pursuing your joy and trusting that when you let go, great things will happen. And when you hold on tight, the universe is going to smack your fingers off the control bar. So you don't have a lot of control, and it's okay. The more you let go, the greater things are going to happen. The more you're white knuckling your way through it, the more intense the ride is going to be. So you are infinitely powerful. That power flows through you. You are part of a bigger creative plan. Allow yourself to align with that plan. Be present to that destiny. Spend some time outside. Meditate. I've said that a couple of times. It's probably for a reason. Really take time this week to nurture yourself and be ready. What happens this week has the potential to be hugely transformative for many of us over the next 6 months. So you're really going to see an echo of the transformation that happens this week as we go through it. No white knuckling, no blaming. Be gentle with yourselves. Take good care of your body. Remember that we still have will center energy going on, so be mindful of the potential for burnout. Rest consistently. Make sure you're taking some time off with your brain, okay? That means go read, go do something to turn your mind off if you're stuck in the worry or you're feeling pressured. Okay, we made it. Have a really great week, and for those of you celebrating Halloween, have a fantastic Halloween, and I'll talk to you next week.